Angel Nieves is a former NYPD detective and says...
The late photographer, journalist Ardina Seward. Nice to see you, Ardina.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, I am sitting here. I'm struggling to contain myself because Angel does basically all the booking for the show. Angel's pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and a live rabbit out of the hat. Angel's pulled a rabbit out of the hat because Angel has managed to get a guest who is coming to us. We are live, coming to us live from Kenya. Kenya's got to be, I don't know. It's number one. They're like 7 hours ahead. And I don't know how many thousands of miles, but the whole point is that not only is the guest coming from Kenya, but the guest is the chief, CHIEF, of the Maasai Tribe in Kenya. The Maasai Tribe, for people who've never heard of the Maasai Tribe, is a very, very important indigenous tribe in Kenya. They number in the thousands. And the guest that we have tonight, Chief Joseph Ole Tipanko, is the chief, the head, the big maha of this tribe. He is the leader. Oh, I mean, this is so exciting. So Angel has video, and Angel's going to go through the video while I sit here and try to calm myself down. Wow. I mean, I'm still excited. And I would like to the audience to know also that this is the first time our honored guest, Chief Joseph Tipanko, has used this format. Now, he's traveled to the United States before. He comes to the United States once a year as on a cultural exchange program where he is not only chief, but he's sort of an ambassador for the Maasai Tribe. The Maasai Tribe will always need donations in many, many forms because this isn't, they need help maintaining the tribe. They need help maintaining the animals. And in many ways, they are the keepers of the earth in Kenya. They perform an extremely important function. We talk about climate change. We talk about disbalance on the earth. One of the main animal for the Maasai Tribe are the cattle, and the cattle are extremely important to the Maasai. They help to sustain the Maasai. But besides the cattle, the Maasai deal with giraffes, they deal with lions, they deal with tigers. They are basically the custodians of Kenyan wildlife. So, Chief, tell us a little more about the importance of what the Maasai Tribe does and the type of animals that the Maasai Tribe take care of.
Yeah, just to speak a little bit. In fact, I am glad to share more a little bit about our lifestyle. Let me say that the life of the Maasai mostly is revolved around the animals that they keep or that we keep. That is the cattle, the goats, the sheep, and the donkeys. And the cattle and the goats and the sheep are mostly where we get our food, and that is our bread basket. And that is what we have learned from ancient, from our tradition, from our parents. That is the lifestyle and history that is passed to us, and that is what we are used to do as an economic lifestyle, and even in our social ceremonies, we use our livestock for food and even for our traditional ceremonies, sacrifices and performances,
Yes.
even for our dowry. So the animals are very important for us. They don't give we use it to carry luggage, to move from one place to another, that is transport. So all these animals need care. And mostly, as we are affected by climate change, we have, in the past, we have experienced a lot of drought, which have claimed a lot of our animals. So food and feeding our animals, that is looking for good grass, pasture, hay, and even water and salt lick is very important so that the animals can get the minerals. And the Maasai, without these animals, I don't know how we can really survive in our local environment. And we have our pets, that is the dog, the cat. They have been our best friends in our families. For the dog, they have really given us some company, and also they have given us the security that we need to keep away the wild prey that we have in our local environment, so that they don't attack our animals. For example, I have 5 dogs in my household, and there are also a lot in the villages. And whenever the hyenas come around, or even the leopard, the lions come around to attack the animals at the shelter, the dogs alert us. So we wake up and we try to scare away the animals. Although we mostly use the traditional ways of scaring them, and sometimes even when we have the elephants come around, the buffaloes come around, sometimes keeping away the noise sometimes disturb these animals, which is sometimes is not healthy. So I think what Angel Wine shared to me, sometimes having the light, the thought that to scare these animals away, I think will be a big boost for my views. So
I'm
these are
sorry,
some of the things that
Chief.
we are praying.
Can you repeat it again? Because you were going off and
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
about you were talking about the uh something that I told you. I think you said I wasn't sure because I wasn't hearing you going on and off. You're talking about the animals, the dogs.
Yeah. Tell us again, Chief, about the Chief Tipanko, about the dogs and how the dogs protect the tribe.
yeah.
Yeah. Just tell us
About the
more.
tribe.
Yeah. How do the what is the purpose of the
Yeah, um,
we're just having a little
or
problem.
you are breaking. You're
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just having
breaking.
a little problem with the sound.
Hello.
Yeah,
I hear you.
we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now. I think you were talking earlier. If you can hear me, you were talking earlier about how the dogs are very important, and when the hyenas come around, the dogs scare the hyenas off. Did I understand you correctly? Yeah, we're still having problems with the sound. We're having a little problem with your audio. We're having a little problem with the audio. Uh,
Okay.
okay, okay. Maybe could you give us a count up to 5 because we're not hearing you very well. Okay, we still don't have you. We still don't hear you. Uh,
I think he froze.
yeah, it's probably the internet because this is far away, and in some parts of the world the internet is not as strong as it is. I don't know if he's hooked up or if he's on Wi-Fi, but the signal is not great. So maybe what you could do, Chief, is you could sign off and then sign back on, and we might be able to get the signal a lot clearer. Why don't we try that, Angel? And he could just sign off and then come back on. Okay, good. And in the meantime, we can talk about the importance of animal conservation because in that part of the world, animals are extremely, extremely important. They are important as far as the balance of nature. They are important for food. They are important for security. They are important really for the survival of many, many African tribes. You know, you have not all the modern facilities in parts of Africa that you have here, especially in rural areas. You don't have a lot of government support, although there should be a lot of government support, and that's one of the reasons why Chief Tipanko has made his journey to the United States once a year to introduce people to the Maasai culture and also to get assistance in the form of books, clothes, finance to help the Maasai people. And the Maasai people are not only important as far as animals are concerned, but they make beautiful, beautiful jewelry. The Maasai jewelry has become not a staple, but it's become notable over several years because of the complex beading. They make gorgeous necklaces and bracelets and sort of neck emblems and adorn themselves in such a regal, regal way, not to mention the headdresses and the very elaborate paint that they wear for different ceremonies. It's just a phenomenal culture that is known throughout the world. And in order for them to continue and to thrive, they need as much assistance as possible in the form of tours, in the form of government assistance, in the form of just the average citizen who would say, you know something, I'm going to send $25, I'm going to send $100 to help create more schools for Maasai children. Again, it's not, the government of Kenya does not give assistance to Maasais the way that our government gives assistance to us, because the Maasai are in a rural area, I believe in the northern part of Kenya, where there's not a lot of paved roads. You don't have the standard houses that you have here. Of course, you have huts, and a lot of the children are only educated up to fourth or fifth grade. So there you are. You are back, thankfully. Yes, I hear you very well now. And we were talking about these schools for Maasai children and why your ambassadorship, your tour to the United States is necessary to let the American public know about how they can help Maasai people, not only in terms of helping feed the animals, helping care for the animals, because animals sometimes need medicine. Animals need help. They need bedding. They need housing, just like people do in many instances. So, how can American people, Chief Tipanko, help the Maasai people? What can they do to help you? What can we do to help you in Africa, in Kenya?
Yeah, one, yeah, the people can help us in various ways. One is to try and probably look for a safe place that is a shelter where we can keep some of these animals that we rescue. That is one of your photos that you put earlier. You can see we have a lot of dogs roaming around in the streets and eating garbage here and there. And some of these dogs collect a lot of diseases and they have a lot of rabies. And when we rescue some of these dogs that are thrown away, sometimes which bumper on the street and they are knocked by the cars because some people threw them away. So they get accidents, and it is very just it hurts my soul or my spirit. I see these animals get harmed and hurted. So we need a shelter to keep these animals safe.
Yes.
So that is one, to keep the dogs that got hurt and that are being thrown to the street. We need to rescue them to give them a safe place and to protect them. Secondly, we need a clinic whereby we can treat these animals uh, when they get the accident, when they get diseases like rabies, they can be vaccinated. Some of them have ticks and fleas. And these are really, these animals, when they are sick, they also pass this to the children and to the communities around.
Oh,
So we get affected a lot. We are seeing of danger that is coming to the local communities with these animals when they are sick. So our prayer is to have a shelter for these rescued animals and a safe clinic whereby people can come and volunteer and bring the animals and treat them there.
now if people how if people want to contact you, if they want to send you medicine for the animals, or if they want to send money, how would they reach you?
Yeah,
How,
we have in the nearby town we have a physical address. I think Meredith can give you our contact.
okay, that would be fun because I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who really there it is, the Maasai Project. So there it is, it's up on the screen now, Animal Shelter and Clinic. Is there a website, Angel? Or
PaulsUnitedPeople.org.
okay, do you have a photo of the website?
That is the photo of the website.
But I mean, but the because what I don't see is I don't see an address up there. I don't see an internet address.
Right? It's Paul's United People.
Oh, call see okay, cause United.
PAWS.
Oh, cause
UnitedPeople.org.
okay, PAUSE unite
No, no,
UNI.
PAWS.
Oh, PAWS. I'm sorry. Because it's the way it's written. It's very faint. Oh, so it's pause unite people. PAWS UNITE PEOPLE. So it's pause unite people. And I
Dot org.
guess you can Google it, folks, and that should lead you to the website and where you can make donations. Now, do you get any help at all, Chief Joseph, from the Kenyan government to help with the animals? Do they help you with food? Do they help you with doctors, veterinarians? Are you helped by the Kenyan government?
Very limited and all come with yeah,
So the
very
government.
little, very limited, but all
Yes,
come with food.
yes, yes. So it's. I understand you to say
Yeah,
that the
so
government.
sometimes
Yes. So basically the Maasai people are the only ones that are tending to these animals, and the government is not helping. Is that correct? The government is not helping you.
the government aid is very limited.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
very limited because animals and the poverty level is very high.
Yes. Yes. It's very difficult. But your tribe.
So
But I would venture to say that if it weren't for the Maasai people taking care of the cattle and the dogs and the lions and the tigers and the giraffes, that those animals might die without the help of the Maasai people. That it's your people that are protecting all of these animals and keeping them alive. And this is why the Maasai tribe is so important in Kenya, because without you, those animals might die. They might, they wouldn't
That is
live.
true.
And this is
In
why,
fact,
I mean,
most of the government took the wild animals as a tourist attraction. So most of the revenue go to the government. But the animals at the village, except only in a situation where there is an epidemic, that is where the government can rush in. So, but if there is no epidemic, the animals are just left out to loiter and the locals to take care of them. So the burden is left on the local communities.
so the money from I know that there are safari tours that of the Maasai people, but the revenue from those tours does not really go
But that,
to. Yeah, I think
yeah,
I
that
think
goes to the national government.
exactly. So this is also important for people to understand who are listening to the show, that the good news is that there are safari tours and they're advertised in the New York Times, they're advertised all over the internet. And people pay thousands of dollars for those tours. But that money does not go to the Maasai people, very little, if any. That money goes to the Kenyan government. The Maasai people are on their own when it comes to taking care of these beautiful creatures. And the Maasai people need help. If you are a veterinarian, an American veterinarian, and you want to volunteer your time to travel to Kenya to help perhaps give vaccines to the animals, to help administer to the animals, the Maasai people would welcome that. It's beyond the beads that you buy. I mean, the kind of, the beautiful Maasai jewelry, which is beautiful. But beyond that,
Yep.
medical people, volunteers, forget the safari, get involved, go out there and help people bring water to the animals. If you're not a doctor, if you're not a nurse, but you're a strong person, all you can do is carry water, then please go to Africa, help carry water, help build. They need a shelter for these animals. The Chief Joseph has just said before that they need a shelter. If you can handle a nail and a hammer, then to help build a shed, help them, because in helping them, we are also helping ourselves. Because if we lose a portion of the giraffe population, if we lose a portion of the lion population, it will have an impact all over. The Maasai basically help maintain the balance of nature. Their people have done this for centuries on their own. Am I right, Chief Joseph?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You also have a project on giraffes, that people poaching giraffes and the water supply. So you want to save them?
Yes. Tell us about the giraffes,
In
Chief
fact,
Tipanko. Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
we have a lot of giraffes. Around my village. One thing I see, sometimes climate change, they struggle a lot with water. So I'm thinking to build a water trap for the giraffe. You can see even for the one on the picture, rescued that baby giraffe when people killed the giraffe mother. So I rescued that and I was able to call the Kenya Wildlife Service come and rescue and keep. So the picture there, those are giraffes around my house. And I would
Wow.
like to build a trap for them. I would like to build a water trap for them so that they can come and take water. And then, but we need funds to to do the water trap. We need some funds especially we are going through a dry spell right now, a drought. We need to raise funds to feed the animals too.
Yes, yes. And I don't think, honestly, folks, I don't think that the Chief Tipanko is asking for a lot. He's just asking for donations just to help build a water trough for giraffes, for the parts. Even if you're out there, somebody, and you're listening, and you happen to have those parts, and you're willing to ship those parts to Kenya, just make that donation. Imagine these exquisite, gorgeous creatures that ask for nothing except water and grazing room and just the care of the Maasai people. That is not asking a lot, because again, to have a reduction in the population of giraffes, to even fathom losing a sizable portion of that population is really,
Hey,
it's very profound. It's very profound.
hi.
And this is your son, who's absolutely gorgeous and wide-eyed. And what is his name? What is his name?
His name is Philip Sanin.
Amin. Samin. Well, hello, Samin.
Philip.
Well, welcome to our show. Do
Yeah.
you want to tell us a little bit about the animals that are outside? Do you want to tell us a little bit about the animals and what you think about the animals and how you take care of them? Okay.
In fact, all this we
What
have
was that?
animals in the natural environment, so the animals in their natural environment. So every day he has to see a giraffe. He gets up just to see, and I tell them the giraffes are very humble.
Well,
And even the elephant, he likes to see them.
But what is such a beautiful way to educate a child about his position in the world and the earth. Some education comes out of books, and some education comes from everyday experience and taking care of elephants, taking care of giraffes. It's his connection to the earth that he's a steward of the earth, and it's just a marvelous way of raising a child to appreciate nature. And we want to keep that going. We want to make sure that he will grow up in a beautiful preserve, a beautiful animal preserve, where he can continue that practice that you're passing on to him and that his people are passing on to him. Because this is something that should go on for the next 200, 300, 400 years. But my understanding is that the Maasai are losing land. The government is taking some land away, so the population is your space to take care of these animals is getting smaller and smaller, and that's a terrible thing to think about, that the people not only are losing their land, but they're losing the funds, and they don't have the money to take care of the animals on that land, and we cannot let that happen. We cannot let that happen.
If we don't take care of our local environment and the animals that are around, like the giraffe, one time they will be extinct. They will be extinct, and it will be so.
Well, that's
even.
I mean,
what animals around, they will only.
Bad reception again.
Well, the thing, but what he's saying, Angel, is very profound, because if those animals, if they are not able to tend to those animals, be it through a water, simple as a water trough, medicine, just caring for them. I mean, could you imagine the giraffe species becoming extinct? That's just
Yes, another problem is with the predators. You have the hyenas. You have the hyenas. I mean, when I spoke to you in the past, there's always hyenas out there because they smell food, they smell the animals, and that's where they attack. They attack to eat, and they come in packs at nighttime. And that guy, he had the dogs to scare them off by barking, and awakes the rest of the people from there to come out to protect the animals.
well because it's all
They battle
connected.
with predators. Yeah.
This is it. It's all connected because if he's not able, if the tribe is not able to take care of the dogs, then there'll be no. Then what will happen is that the hyenas could take over because the dogs keep the hyenas out, and if the hyenas are able to get to the animals, then they can kill the animals. So it's all connected together.
But so far, Chief Joseph, you have something working with the dogs that's protecting the tribes, right? With against the hyenas, because they alert you all the time.
Yeah, we have the dogs, and we, although sometimes even the hyenas, we have it. We need just to keep our dogs healthy all the time because the hyenas are and very.
Yeah, the dogs protect you, so that it's important for the dogs to stay healthy, so that they will be able to protect the tribe. They will be able to protect the people. Now, I want to ask you about cattle because cattle sometimes not cattle but cows. We have something here in the United States called hoof and mouth disease, and it's been pretty much eradicated through medicine. And that used to kill a large number of cows. Do you have medicine to keep the cows healthy in Kenya? Do you have medicine?
We have
Go ahead.
we have
Go
to
ahead.
go to the for some medicine for because we have the foot and mouth disease. We have them.
That's Angel's phone, I think. But you do have you do have the medicine for the cows, correct? You have the
Yeah, we
medicine.
have, but we have.
Sorry.
And is there enough medicine for the cows, or is it hard sometimes to get that medicine?
When we are not experienced hardship when we go to the city. Only what it causes is that because of poverty, some people are unable to get the medicine, so the animals die.
Oh, and this is bad. This is bad because cows are very important to Maasai people. I mean, it's like we here we it's a very important, correct? It's part of their livelihood. Cows provide milk. Cows provide they provide beef. This is very essential to Maasai people. If they don't have enough cows, then that would hurt the population very much. Where are they going to get milk from if they don't have the cows? Sure, you could have goats, but a cow provides a lot more milk. So they need medicine for those cows and to keep those cows healthy. We, as I had explained before, is that we were fortunate in the United States to eradicate a lot of disease that impacted cattle. Early on, cattle had all sorts of illnesses, and they died. But through modern medicine, we've eradicated many diseases that cows have, and you don't even hear about those diseases anymore. But those diseases still happen in the population. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chief. Yes.
Yeah, the cattle is.
Okay, I think you sort of your sound is a little broken up, but if you could try again to talk about the cattle and how important the cattle are and how difficult it is to keep the cattle healthy. I think
Yeah, the animals, the cattle provide meat, milk, and so if these animals are sick, then the disease they pass to human beings. That is the women who milk the cattle, the children who consume the milk, the men who look at these animals. So they become eventually sick. So there is great need to keep the animals healthy and protect them.
yeah, because so and I think I don't know if the audience is able to hear you that well, but what Chief Tipanko was saying is that if the cows get sick, then that's passed on to the women who milk the cows, and that's passed on to the children. So it isn't just a matter of the cows getting sick, that it could impact an entire population of people. It's not as though one cow gets sick and then that cow passes away. No, one cow gets sick and that cow can inflict a disease on a large portion of that tribe. And again, I want to emphasize that it's not as though people who live where the Maasai people live can get in a car and go to a clinic and go and see a doctor. It doesn't work like that. They are in a remote part of Kenya where it could take a day to get to a clinic. You don't have doctors that come and visit. So it's only the genius of the Maasai people that has been able to sustain themselves and their animals. I mean, think about it. Maasai have been around for a long time in remote areas, and they basically had to fend for themselves. They've had to create their own medicines. They've had to fend for themselves as far as sustaining themselves and also sustaining these animals. And it takes a lot of engineering and knowledge of herbs and medicine that's part of the earth, natural medicine, to keep things going. And to their credit, they've managed to do that. But that doesn't mean that if a bad disease hits, that tribal medicine will be able to overwhelm that disease. Oh, so go ahead, Chief. I think you wanted to speak.
Yeah, one thing I would like to share is that life here is very different with the United States. And when I traveled there, what I saw is that people have all this whatever they need in their disposal and around them. They can get what they need. But here in Africa, it's very different than what you might imagine. Things are not available. They are very far away. And the ones that, if you go to the city to get them, it costs a lot and it's very limited. So that's why some of the animals, they just roam and nobody takes care of them.
So
And
people
that's why
who
we have come.
and this is why you make the visit and or you make the visit to the United States every year to educate people and explain to them the importance of this tribe being sustained. You got to think about this, folks. You got to consider the fact that if everything was allowed to lapse, if the Maasai were not able to care for these animals or to care for themselves, next time you go to the Bronx Zoo, or next time you want to take your child out to see a lion or a tiger, and you're told, well, we're sorry, but they don't exist anymore. I mean, I may be over dramatizing it, but still, it has an impact, and this is why people should care. Yes, granted, we're here in the United States, and Kenya is like probably a 10-hour plane ride away. But what happens in Kenya also, in the long run, impacts what happens in the United States. It will somehow.
Yeah, people in the United States will appreciate what they have. And if people would like to come to the village and help with the animals, I welcome them so much. It's very open. They can visit different villages and work with the locals and see life in reality. So, and then when they get back to the state, they'll be able to appreciate what they have.
Yes.
But also it's a learning experience because the Maasai live communally, and that means that they don't live in isolation from each other. In the United States, we tend to live very individually. We have our house here, and you don't want to be bothered with your neighbor. But the Maasai depend on each other. You can't just say, I don't want to be bothered with that person, because that person is the person that will help you with your cow the next day. That person is the person that may carry water for you if you're not feeling well. So it's all about learning how to live together, even though you may have a difference with that person. But it's how to live communally, because we all live on the same planet. And as far as learning traditional medicine, there's a lot to be learned from different herbs, just different things that nature provides that don't come out of a pharmacy, because these are the same things that have sustained the Maasai people all of these years, not being able to order penicillin. Penicillin, measles vaccines, that is what we grew up on and what has sustained us. The Maasai people don't have that, so they have their own equivalent. And this is something that you could learn. So it's not just saying, oh, well, I'm going to donate money to the Maasai. The Maasai, as you give money, the exchanges that the Maasai teach us. The Maasai teach us how to care for our animals. The Maasai teach us how to live interconnected. So it's an even exchange in many ways. Yes, I think Chief Tipanko, you
People
want
will get of a lifetime. They'll get an experience of a lifetime. They'll be able to learn about the culture of the people. They will be able to also walk a lot instead of driving cars. They'll be able to walk in the bushes, look at the herbal medicine, and make some soup. They'll be able to skin the goat, maybe for meat, or even a cow, because we don't have to lot of houses. So they'll be able to see it live performance at the village level.
Wow, that
Well,
is
before we finish, we already went over the half an hour, but believe me, it's going to be going a lot more than 45 minutes now, because I want to show this. You also have another organization, MAGSA. I think it's right here.
Yeah, Magda. Yep.
What is that about? I mean, I love your outfit right here. I love your clothing right there.
Yeah,
So what's the
this is my
MAGSA outreach?
clothing. That is our local non-profit organization based here in Kenya. It's a
oh,
local non-profit here in Kenya.
okay. So
And what
people,
do they do?
and what do they do? What is their function?
Yeah, their function is to work on social economic development within the community. That helps to work with the animals, build the schools, and also try to build the schools, and also sponsor some of the needy children to go to school. And it works with the women, local women groups around, to empower the women to have a voice in the community.
Wow, that's that's amazing, because that's very progressive, because it empowers women, and Maasai women are very strong, and it encourages women to get an education, and that's revolution. That's revolution in many ways. Well, we are getting towards the end of our show, which is ah, I could go on for another 2 hours because I think that you are just fantastic. And I said it in the beginning of the show that it is such a privilege. We have guests on before, but I mean, to have the chief of the Maasai on the show, the chief of 5,000 Maasai people, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I hope to meet you. And when will you be coming to New York?
Angel, it was nice talking and meeting you on the show. I love it so much. It's my experience, and I welcome you to Africa anytime you like to come and visit. And please pray for us and the Maasai and the health care of our animals and children.
Well, we are going to be part of your advocate team here, Chief, because we realize how important the Maasai people are and how important they are to the keepers of the earth. That they should just go on and on and on and on and on and never diminish. And people, we need to do our part. We need to do our part to help the Maasai because in helping the Maasai, we're also helping ourselves. We spend hours talking about climate change, but we should also spend time talking about how to help the Maasai. And with that, Angel has video, I think, and Chief, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Chief, for coming. When you do come to New York, I know a good place to have good French toast. All right. And people, please spay and neuter your pets. Do you know where your pets are?
All right. And with that, that's it. Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We like you. Bye.
Bye-bye.